All right, we're back, folks. New year, new bets, more money. What is happening? So crazy shit already is going down this year. Dana White slapping his wife. You got Andrew Tate in jail. Fucking world's coming to an end, man. It's crazy. But we're out here. So we got this UFC coming up. Imavov versus Kelvin Gastelum. Man, the main fight I was looking forward to, obviously, Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Jeff Neal, was going to be the highlight of this card. That's got moved back as it should have been. So that's good to see. So let's see here. We got Imavov, Gaslam in the main event, of course. And I'm going to start in the beginning. Let's see here. So we got Charles Johnson taking on Jimmy Flick. So I remember Charles Johnson. He took on one of my boys, one of my favorite fighters to watch, Muhammad Makayev. I've been talking about Muhammad Makayev for a long time, and Charles Johnson fought him. Did not bad. I mean, he got dominated, of course, lost a unanimous decision, but he did better than I thought he was going to do. I thought he was going to get run over, and he seems to be a huge favorite going against this fight against Jimmy Flick. Haven't seen too much Jimmy Flick. I think he's only fought once in the UFC, and he fought once on the Contender Series, I believe. But I'm going to go with Charles Johnson on this one. Huge favorite, too. It's surprising there. Up next, featherweights. We got Isaac Delgarian takes on Dan Archetta. Now, new guy, Isaac Delgarian, is going to be his first fight coming into the UFC from FAC, which is going to be interesting. He's fighting out of he's in Kansas City, I believe. Let's see, Daniel Archetta here. So Daniel Archetta came into the UFC. His first fight, he fought Damon Jackson, who's fighting later on in the card, and he lost that fight. And doesn't have too much experience. I haven't seen actually too much of these guys, newer guys. I'm going to go with Dan Archetta, though. He's slightly more experience. Up next, Nashamento takes on Carlos Hernandez. Nashamento, I think he's going to be easily winning this fight. He lost a split decision to Tagir Ulanbekov. A lot of people thought he might have won that fight against Tagir Ulanbekov. He also lost a split decision to Julian Paiva. Like, he's losing close fights. I think he's just going to be too much for Carlos Hernandez. Even though Carlos Hernandez is on a big win streak, I'm surprised it is such huge favorite, right? Like minus 400. I don't agree with those odds. Carlos Hernandez, he's got, 8 wins in a row. When you got a guy who's got 8 wins in a row, his only loss was in 2017, and that's his first pro fight ever. And then ever since then, he's racked off 8 straight. So I wouldn't count out Carlos Hernandez in this one, but I do think Nascimento should run away with the decision in this one. Don't be surprised if it is a split decision, because these guys are known for having split decisions. Up next, 2 undefeated fighters, Javeed, Basharat. This is going to be interesting. The Snow Leopard. He's on a roll. He's undefeated. He's coming off a couple big wins over Trevin Jones, Tony Gravely, which was really impressive. He's taking on this undefeated Brazilian. You never know with these undefeated Brazilians. I seen his last fight on the Contender Series against, I think his name was Ajim. Just smashed him in the first round under a minute. So that's super impressive. I don't know if I agree with the minus 350 odds on this one. They must be really high on this Basharat kid, because this Brazilian cat, Mateusz, he's for real, dude. Undefeated. I don't know if I'm going minus 360 odds. This one I'd stay away from. I could even, take in this guy. This guy's a live dog. Look at his significant strikes landed per minute, 11.25. That's high, bro. Holy. Even Javeed's high, 5.4. That's pretty significant. 5.41 per minute. That's not bad. This guy's 11.25. That's crazy. He's got a high output, high volume striker. So yeah, I'm not going against either of these guys. But if you were going to take my pick, I'd take over 1.5. That's my pick on that. Up next, we got the Polish dude, Rebic, takes on Nick Floor, another undefeated guy. This Rebic guy's for real, dude. He's, has one loss, which was early 2014, like 8-9 years ago, and he's been just on a roll since then. I believe he's racked up, 13 straight wins, and he's taken on Nick Floor. Not bad, undefeated. Haven't really seen too much of him, but I'm going to go with Mateusz Rebic on this one. I think just the experience factor. I mean, look at how much more pro fights he has. Minus 700 too. I mean, why even making this fight? Up next, AbdulRazak AlHassan takes on Claudio Ribeiro. Now, Claudio Ribeiro, this guy's, on an impressive win streak himself. Racked up 6 wins, not bad. He's taken on AbdulRazak AlHassan, who's been like, 50-50. He's had like 3 losses in a row at one point after he knocked out Nico Price in like spectacular fashion. Had like 3 bad losses. And then he came back. He beat that Alessio Di Chirico guy, the Italian who beat Joaquin Buckley. Then AbdulRazak AlHassan lost a split decision his last fight to Joaquin Buckley. Now he's taking on Claudio Ribeiro. I haven't seen too much of this Claudio Ribeiro dude, but he's only had one fight, which was on the Contender Series. He won that in 25 seconds. Like, I'm not really able to tell, like, how good is this guy? Yeah, you beat some guy on the Contender Series, but you know what? I'm going to go with this guy, Claudio Ribeiro. I'm going to go with him. Haven't seen too much of him. Significant strikes landed per minute, 9.6. But like I said, he hasn't fought in the UFC yet. His first fight in the UFC, taking on a tough dude. This is going to tell you all you need to know. If he goes in there and starches AbdulRazak AlHassan, this guy is the real deal. But, we'll see. Now, this is probably the most interesting fight on the card. Umar Nurmagomedov, this guy is insane, like his last name. Anyone named Nurmagomedov from Dagestan is a psychopath. And this guy can do it all. He can wrestle. He's got an crazy ground game, incredible back takes if he gets on your back. He's got tons of rear naked choke wins. I think all of his submissions are like rear naked chokes. I think he has one Peruvian maybe on there. And he's taking on Hani Barcelos, who himself has really good jiu-jitsu. I don't know is he going to be able to submit Hani Barcelos? I don't know, but he will dominate Hani Barcelos. Now, Hani Barcelos already has a win over Nurmagomedov, Said Nurmagomedov. Now, Said Nurmagomedov is not related to Umar and Khabib, even though they do share the same last name, but they are from Dagestan and they do know each other. So Hani Barcelos already has a win over Nurmagomedov, which is pretty impressive. Can he get 2? I highly doubt it. I don't think you're going to go in there and beat Umar Nurmagomedov. I think Umar Nurmagomedov is going to be a force to be reckoned with at 135. I think if you put him in the best guys at 135, I think Umar Nurmagomedov is probably a favorite going in there against any of them. That's how good Umar Nurmagomedov is. So it's just like, is he going to finish Hani or is he going to go decision? I mean, I don't know if he's going to. He likes to submit guys. He's got really good back takes. I don't know if he's going to submit Hani Barcelos. He's got good jiu-jitsu, but he will dominate Hani Barcelos everywhere. Up next, Punahali Soriano takes on Roman Kopylov. I like this Soriano dude. He's a banger. He comes in there, looks to bang. Knocked out Dalcha Lukumbambwe or whatever. His last fight, he knocked out Dusko Todorovic. He had a split decision loss to, Nate Diaz's boy, Nick Maximov, but that's the way she goes. Roman Kopylov coming off a win over Alessio Di Chirico. Before that, he lost to Albert Duraev and Carl Roberson. This one's going to be a close one. I'm going to go with over 1.5 on this one. I think either one can really take this one. Same with this fight. This fight could literally go either way. This is bumped to the co-main event. Dan Ige takes on Damon Jackson. This got bumped to the co-main since Shavkat Rakhmonov pulled out, or sorry, Jeff Neal. Something happened and they rescheduled it. So let's see here. 50K, Danny Ige. This guy's the real deal, but he's got 3 straight losses. I mean, the thing is, the UFC is putting him up with top guys like Movsar Evloev, Josh Emmett, Chan Sung Jung. Those were his last 3 fights, 3 straight losses. He did beat Gavin Tucker, which was really impressive. But then before that, he lost to Calvin Kattar, who again, really impressive fighter. Taking on Damon Jackson. Damon Jackson's on a roll. He beat Pat Sabatini. That was pretty impressive. I'm going to go with I'm going with the underdog on this one, Damon Jackson. I think Damon Jackson gets it done. I think it might be a decision. Danny Gay is tough dude, but I think I'm going to go with Damon Jackson on this one. I think the height is going to give Danny Gay some problems. But who knows if Danny Gay can out-wrestle him. Haven't really seen too much of Damon Jackson's ground game, but Danny Gay out-wrestles you. He can, he's definitely not getting the 50K bonus, but he might get a win. So up next, we got the main event. Kelvin Gastelum taking on Nasruddin Imavov. Now, Nasruddin Imavov, known as the Russian Sniper. I don't know why they call him the Russian Sniper when he's fighting out of France, but he's born in Dagestan. So whatever. He's got some impressive wins. He's beat Edmund Shabazian, Ronda Rousey's training partner. He's coming off a very impressive win over Joaquin Buckley. He does have a loss to Phil Hawes, but, Phil Hawes is really good. Coming off 3 straight wins. Kelvin Gastelum, on the other hand, he has not looked good. I think he's got, 5 losses in his last 6 fights. That, he's losing to top guys like Robert Whittaker, Izzy Adesanya, but he lost to Darren Till, lost to Jack Hermanson, lost to Jared Cannonier. I think Kelvin Gastelum's on his way out, so I'm going to go with Nasruddin Imavov on this one. So those are my picks. If you guys need a place to bet, you already know. Promo code Iceman, BetUS, best place to bet, man. So make those bets, let's make some money together, and let's get it out.